It's been an amazing time for gamers, whether you're interested in indie releases or the bigger AAA titles. Among these, there have been a number of sequels in long-running franchises that actually introduced some new mechanics and freshened up their traditional gameplay. Let's take a look at some of the top new gameplay mechanics that appeared in sequels for established franchises in recent memory. Battlefield Hardline, Zipline, and Grappling Hook. Battlefield has always been about running and gunning, but Battlefield Hardline changed this up significantly by allowing players to take to greater heights. While the grappling hook helped for reaching better vantage points, the zipline was essential for moving between skyscrapers and escaping with cash. Tales from the Borderlands, an adventure spin to an FPS franchise. When you think Borderlands, you think high-octane and sometimes even cartoonish violence. Sure, there was a semi-serious narrative to be had, but nothing too cinematic. Telltale Games turned that notion on its head with Tales from the Borderlands, and proved that it could craft a strong narrative within an over-the-top universe. And to be honest, the choices didn't feel all that different from what you'd regularly pull off in a Borderlands title.
Hi.
Grand Theft Auto V, FPS mode in PC and current-gen versions. FPS mode in Grand Theft Auto V has to be one of the biggest innovations in the franchise yet. Rather than simply throwing a first-person perspective into GTA V, Rockstar took to adapting the entire control and movement scheme to best fit the perspective. As a result, we saw through the eyes of our murderous character, horrified at everything we had done, while still feeling as comfortable as possible.
Hey, how'd you get down here?
Assassin's Creed Chronicles, two-dimensional treatment to third-person open-world gameplay. Assassin's Creed hasn't really deviated much from its standard formula in the past several years. The signature third-person free-roaming and combat has remained largely the same. Assassin's Creed Chronicles changed things up, though, by utilizing a two-dimensional perspective. One could still hide in the shadows and assassinate enemies, but the fresh approach spins these mechanics in interesting ways. The Witcher 3, Gwent. Ask any hardcore fan of The Witcher 3, and they'll put over just how amazing Gwent, the collectible card game, can be. The world of The Witcher is full of opponents you can take on, earning more powerful Gwent cards in the process. If you really want to take things to the next level, you can install a mod on PC which changes all the combat in the game to Gwent. It may not be the most revolutionary new mechanic, but Gwent may just be the most loved feature among Witcher 3 fans. Batman Arkham Knight, the Batmobile. Among the many gameplay mechanics on this list, the Batmobile in Batman Arkham Knight may be the one with the most mixed opinions. That being said, it did add some really cool things to the open world of Gotham. Tank combat may have gotten old really quick, but engaging villains in high-speed chases, knocking down pillars, and smashing through the city was a blast. Even the puzzles had showcased some clever implementations of the Batmobile within the Arkham infrastructure. Metal Gear Solid 5, vast open world. Of the many open world games released in the past few years, we didn't quite expect Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes and The Phantom Pain to have a large sandbox-like scope. Previous Metal Gear titles, even the decidedly more open Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, have been more linear in their gameplay. However, Kojima Productions found a way to balance the cinematic presentation of Metal Gear Solid 5 with open levels full of objectives. The freedom of approach to completing missions is also worthy of highlight, especially when you consider some of the crazier things players have pulled off with the Photon system, slow motion detection, and explosives. Halo 5 Guardians, ADS, and Spartan abilities. You'd think the Spartan abilities would ruin the multiplayer in Halo 5 Guardians as much as it did in Halo 4. Throw in aiming down sights or ADS, and many fans were worried that Halo was just going down the Call of Duty path. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. The ability to sprint, Spartan charge, hover, and ground pound were all balanced incredibly well. Do you run and forego shield recharging, for instance? Or do you risk it to try and Spartan charge someone? Do you give up mobility for better accuracy by aiming down sights? At the end of the day, ADS and Spartan abilities added a small but significant range of options to make multiplayer in Halo 5 Guardians fun. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Grappling Hook. Assassin's Creed Syndicate adds a grappling hook, allowing you to traverse through Industrial Revolution London. Big deal, you say? Well, in an Assassin's Creed title, it's actually a fairly significant change. You no longer need to worry about clambering up to the nearest rooftop. Need to reach an adjacent structure in a hurry? Use the grappling hook as a line launcher and zip towards the objective. It's no hang glider, but the grappling hook makes the traditional Assassin's Creed navigation so much more convenient. Fallout 4, base building and weapon and armor customization. Player choice and doing whatever one feels like has always been the core appeal of Bethesda's games. Fallout 4 features weapon and armor customization, allowing you to refit your pistol to fire 50 caliber bullets, but it takes things a step further with its settlements. This allows the player to create their own home base and stock it with supplies, merchants, and even defenses like turrets. In the long run, working on your settlement doesn't really affect things much, but it's great to have your own home base to come back and to admire your collection of power armors. Just Cause 3 Wingsuit. If you thought Just Cause had enough havoc and mayhem thanks to a simple grappling hook, then the wingsuit in Just Cause 3 takes things a step further. You can now fly into billboards and enemies, perform bombing runs at high speeds, and zip around the map quickly. Though the parachute still has its uses, the wingsuit finally allows Just Cause players a fast movement option without compromising on the potential for mass destruction. Rainbow Six Siege – Environmental Destruction. Though Rainbow Six Siege may seem familiar to fans of the franchise, especially those who enjoyed Terrorist Hunt in Rainbow Six Vegas, the gameplay operates on a completely different dynamic. Besides the team-based mechanics and attack-defense approach, the environments in Siege are highly destructible. This means you can fire through walls and throw explosives out of small openings. It also allows for a multitude of approaches when breaching a room. What new features have you noticed in established franchises? Let us know, and we'll see you next time.